I believe it was more of just a real, like a core neighborhood tournament.
Yeah.
It gained so much popularity, it's just spilled over. It's still a West Roxbury event primarily, but it has spilled over.
And actually enough can't be said for the residents of Temple Street, who put up with
patience.
a little bit, but it's funny, the first year we did it, we thought we were going to get a lot of complaints, and it turns out that, they go out and they sit out in front of their house too and watch the games. And then they approach us.
It's infectious, though.
They approach us and ask us to sponsor.
Happy, the whole thing.
And many of them actually approach us and ask us if they can sponsor it. Because every rink actually has a sponsor, and a lot of the families.
You're kidding me. I didn't know that.
We have sponsors, so a lot of the neighborhood people actually, they'll sponsor the rink out in front of their house.
Awesome.
And they'll sit out there with their family and watch the games. And it's a great event.
It's again, I keep saying it to people, and if you drop hopefully the video does it some justice.
Yeah.
But if you stop by the event, it was like old home week for people who grew up in West Roxbury. You see all the people you haven't seen in forever. All the kids are having a blast. How tough was the first one to organize? I imagine it's still time-consuming, but when you look back on the first one, was it tough to bring this all together?
When we first approached, the first person that we really was on board was City Councilor John Conley, and we approached him on it, and we were thinking he was going to just laugh. But I'll tell you, he stepped up, and since then, Eddie Cobbinger, Matt O'Malley have really, and without guys like that, I mean, people like that who want to be involved in the neighborhood, they approach us and ask us what can they do.
If I'm an elected official, I'm crazy if I'm not helping out in any shape or form.
They're very, very generous to us.
Very generous.
The Corb Charitable Trust,
Yeah, the Thomas Sayre Foundation.
Well, I got a list of things I want to go through, and I'd love to find out who provided what. But
the mayor.
The mayor, huge role. Are you surprised at how much this thing has grown? I think we said 100 kids the first year, and now we're looking at over 400. Are you afraid that this thing is going to have to get moved to Center Street at some point?
I was afraid this year, and then it happened. It went off without a, it went fine. Without a hitch, it went off this year.
Without a hitch.
We were worried this year.
Except for the Tommy DeRosa incident, but we're not going to talk about that.
I think
Tommy DeRosa is another integral part of it.
That's another show.
Yeah, I think we have a footprint now. We sort of have a plan. The first year was sort of the unknown. Is this going to work?
Right.
But now we have a footprint. And it seems to work, and we've tweaked it every year. And I think this year was probably the most organized, I thought. So, I mean, I don't think, we were very fearful.
It seemed to go well. Coaches telling kids to take a seat on the sidewalk, and they gave them a number or a letter or whatever.
It goes down to the volunteers. Like, you could sign up from A to N or N to Z or M, and we had kids standing there with the the letters on with string around their neck, so
I love it.
So people know exactly where to go.
Yep.
And like I said, without the number of volunteers we have, it would never have been close to being as successful as it was. Now,
who can play? There's kids, young kids, different ages, but is it open to everybody, or is there an age?
It's 5 to 12-year-olds. There were, I would probably say, a few 4-year-olds that were on the bigger side that played in it.
Okay.
But they're broken up into 3 different divisions, age divisions.
I tried to sneak in and I got yelled at.
Yeah, I recall that.
Yeah, and I told you I wasn't going to bring it up, but I felt like why
there's
not
always next year, James.
But what we try to work with this year was the older kids who couldn't play. A lot of them were 7th graders. We asked them to actually ref or coach some of the younger kids.
Beautiful.
So they can actually get the experience of what it was like, and because a lot of these started 4 years ago when they were younger, and they've played through the ranks, and now they're going to help us out with the littler kids, and it's a good experience for little kids. It's a good experience for the big kids.
When our kids are grown, that those kids will take over and follow that same tradition.
An obvious question. There's so many great lessons. But what kind of lessons do you want to share with the kids in the community? Like the importance of doing this and giving back and putting something together where everybody can get involved. What do you want those kids to kind of take out of it?
The importance of community. Community. The importance of just community in general.
Yeah.
It's good to see them going out and helping the younger kids. And you can see it in the video.
It's great.
And Parkway Hockey plays a big role in it. We enlist some of the kids from Parkway Hockey.
These kids don't even realize how much fun they were. Here's the great thing about it. These kids have no idea when they get a little bit older like we are, and they realize the time spent and that somebody had to come up with the idea, and there's so many things that go into making this event as special as it is. But these kids are just there showing up, meeting friends, and having fun.
And there's actually 3 gentlemen that go around taking pictures. One's Paul Tressler, the other one is Paul Chevrette, who's a Boston police officer, and Michael O'Reilly, who works for the Brookline Fire Department. And they go around and they give us you know, we get thousands of pictures, and they're absolutely
really nice
phenomenal pictures.
And you get video now too, by the way.
And we have video. And what we do is, we put them on Facebook, and you know, and the kids really, I tell you, some of the letters you get from the kids, like the best day I ever had.
What are you getting?
You know. Yeah. And the picture, I don't know if you know the picture. I don't know if you.
I saw it
of in front of the house, all the kids.
Yeah.
What we doing?
I saw. Was it the Bolton that had a big picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do a group photo at the end of at the end of every tournament. We do a group photo, and every year you can see that it's just gotten bigger and bigger and expanded. This year was incredible. The size. I mean, 400 children.
Yeah.
Packed into a tight area with hockey sticks and a smile on their face.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
So the day starts at what time? 9:30?
9 o'clock. Well, it starts for 5:30. It starts for.
I mean, it starts well before that.
Yeah.
But I mean, games kick off around 9:30, and what time do they go till?
3.
Okay.
3:30. Yeah, the championship game's at 3, so around 3:30.
So 400 kids. How many teams were we talking about?
26.
26 teams. How many games?
They each played 6. Each team played 6 games.
No kidding.
Yeah, 25-minute games.
Right.
With a 10-minute break.
Wow.
And you know, just we had a big horn that Tommy DeRosa would, and Michael Potts would do
Tommy
it too.
DeRosa made it fun. You know, it's just rocking the mic. He had his orange. I did get a picture of him. I should have included.
And the
it,
music he plays. And
playing the music, keeping it going. So many people to thank. Who do you guys think? I know you mentioned the wives. How important a role?
They're fantastic. I mean, they put so much effort into it, you know, with the rosters and the scheduling of the games. And every year it goes on without a hitch. I just, you know, it's amazing that it happens like that. But they would come up to the house, and my wife would go down to their house, and they put a lot of effort into it, a lot of time.
I'm gonna throw. Just the stuff that I saw, and tell me how or who made it possible. Who you want to thank about it? Hockey sticks. Where'd they come from?
Artie Caparel from Caparel Sports.
And
he
did he donate? Give you guys a
he gives them a substantial discount.
He works out of the Roach Rink. He runs the skate shop.
Yeah, I know Artie.
Yeah, Artie's a great guy. He's been with us every year, and he basically is able to give us such a great deal on the sticks that we're able to provide them for the kids.
Which I think is great, because it's just
the kids love it.
It's added value. I'm sure some of these
it.
kids have sticks, but to be able to show up and say, I'm getting a stick, I'm getting a T-shirt, I'm getting to play with my friends. Where'd the hockey nets come from? You get 13 rinks.
The fathers, a lot of the fathers and mothers, we would send out an email, a couple of days before and say who has nets, and we would go around the night before and fill my whole side yard up with nets.
Yeah, they were just donated. The nets were donated, and the next day there's like a circus of nets in Mike's yard. And we slowly but surely filter them back to where they came from.
Whatever doesn't get claimed goes right on eBay. Just want to tell them
so you get 2 weeks after
there you go.
The end of the tournament, and if you don't come by to claim it, it's going to get sold. The T-shirts, which you were nice enough to give me one. I can just show it right there. Where did the T-shirts come from?
This year we used John Fitzgerald, who's also a Boston police officer.
Yes, he is.
And one of Boston's finest, I believe.
That's safe to say. Yes,
some would say, yeah.
Well, some would say that.
He provided the T-shirts this year, and he provided some of the artwork on the shirts. And
he actually designed the hats too. Which the hats actually sold out as. My sister Eileen and my sister Mary actually had a station where they were selling shirts and hats, and they sold out like hotcakes. I mean, we didn't have, we had to order some more. We didn't have enough.
But again, kudos to you guys, because everything, even the hats and the T-shirts, are dynamite to the point where people are dying to get them. They look so collector's items.
Like the Mumford Phys Ed ones.
Because they look sharp.
Everybody asks us for those shirts.
They're awesome. Food. Every kid got fed, pizza, drinks. Yeah. Who stepped up when it comes to the food?
Upper Crust Pizza, Camellas, and West Napoli were great to us. Very generous, and we had about 200 pizzas.
200, yeah.
I don't know what that translates into slices, but it was a lot of pizza.
Shaw's Supermarket donated all the cookies. We had 400 cookies and 400 bags of chips donated by Shaw's. And Roach Brothers donated all the juice boxes. Yeah.
What's the difference in the reception you get from these places now as opposed to the first year? Because again, if I'm a small business owner, if I own Camellas or whatever, I'm like, hey, Mike, Mark, it's Jamie at Camellas, whatever the heck you need. I mean, you got people approaching you now. When you walk through the door, they're like,
well, it's sometimes it can be a struggle.
Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes it
times
depends.
Are tough, but a lot of people approach
in a tough economy. It's always tough to go and ask for handouts.
Right.
But those sponsors, I know Anna's Donuts every year provides coffee and donuts in the early morning hours at the 5 o'clock in the morning when people are setting up before the event. They've been with us every year, and the people that have been with us every year, it's never been a problem. I would say, sometimes going to some new sponsors who aren't familiar with the event, it's a little explaining, but once they see what's going on, they're on board.
Yeah, like
the name on the back of a T-shirt.
Yeah,
I mean, you get 700 in any handout. You're getting something for it. You get some unbelievable publicity.
Richie Gormley from Gormley Funeral Home, obviously. Michael Flynn from the funeral home in Higgins Funeral Home in Rosendale Square, and the Lawlers, Crosby Lawler. They're all on. And just like I said, it's a great. Everybody comes together for this. The Boston Police Emerald Society.
Sean McCarthy.
Sean McCarthy, yeah. Bob Welby. You can't say enough good things about those guys. Rory O'Connor.
Stepping up.
They stepped up.
Some of the bigger unions, like your union, the Boston Police Patrol.
And I should mention Boston Firefighter.
I'm a Boston firefighter. The Boston Firefighters Union was very generous, and the Boston Burn Foundation, along with the Boston Firefighters Credit Union.
Awesome.
No questions.
New sheriff in town.
Yeah. I'd like to thank our union too, Local 419 Corrections Officers, Suffolk County. Stepped up.
It's great because it doesn't happen unless people step up and help out. And it seems like a lot of people obviously get it. But if you didn't get it and you went and you saw it, it wouldn't take long to realize this is something special.
Prime Auto Group, actually, we approached them and they couldn't have been nice enough to us and generous in Mount Washington Bank. Jack Furbush and Ed Merritt, absolutely fantastic. They actually came and the president of Mount Washington Bank came and he dropped for the championship game. He dropped the
ceremonial.
puck. Yeah, dropped the puck. Yeah.
Awesome.
And we had the Providence Bruins mascot.
That's right.
Came.
Love
Zamboni, and they dropped the ceremonial first puck too.
This went by super fast. I don't know if you guys realize it, but we're pretty much done. I got time for 2 more questions. How good does it feel to do what you do?
Great. It feels really great. I mean, to put a good community event together and just bring all these people together to do something so nice. And to be honest with you, we had a bucket for donations for a couple of families in need in West Roxbury, and we're gonna really be able to assist them. We raised about $3,000 to give them. So I'd just like to thank everybody. I mean, there's people we didn't get to thank.
Yeah.
And like Eddie Coppinger and Matt O'Malley, and we need them to be on board next year. John Conley, great. They're so generous to us. Michael Rush, Dan Conley.
Yeah.
But if they didn't get thanked, they're all in the back.
They're all in the back.
Yeah, and 700 of these going up and down. It's funny, the Little League parade. You'll see. You walk the Little League parade, and every other kid's wearing one of these.
I'm wearing
and the
my
fathers are wearing them.
All right, last word, Mark. Again, just real quick. How much fun was it to do this?
It's great. Just like Mike said, I can't stress enough how great of an event this has become.
Yep.
And I think it really brings the community together. And I think St. Patrick's Day, I've said this before, is like Christmas in Boston.
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day is just a huge holiday in the city of Boston. This is a great way for families to get together. And Mother Nature, after this long winter,
weather
was
couldn't
certainly
have been better.
A huge factor this year.
I was in charge of the weather.
I know you had a lot to do with that.
I was in charge.
My nephew Colin Keneally was there. He had a blast. My little guy's a year and a half, and I'm looking forward. Steven's guy was there. Madison MVP.
I'd like to think so. Yeah, she did a great job. And if she's watching tonight, I'd like to say hi to Madison.
I'd like to say hi to my family
and,
too.
My son Owen and my wife Michelle. So,
if they're not watching,
they're the backbone of the operation. So without them, there would be no Shamrock Shootout.
Guys, again, I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it again. It's one of the best events I've seen. Besides, you guys came on. Another chance to.
Thanks for having us, James.
Oh,
yeah, thank you very much.
Can't wait to have you come back. But just to say thank you to you guys from a law enforcement police department perspective. When kids are busy, they're staying out of trouble. But just as a West Roxbury guy too, it was.
Thank you very much,
Mr. O'Brien, Mr. Sanders.
Jamie, thank you. It was great.
And I got plenty of video for you guys too. All right, that's tonight's show. I want to thank our guests, Mike O'Brien, Mark Sanders. Shamrock Shootout, rock the house. Till next week, be safe. Have a great week, everybody. Good night.